Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. The thought of bipedal reptiles fighting crime in the sewers have been sending shivers of joy down people's spines since 1984. For many folks in the late 80s and early 90s, the Nintendo Entertainment System, or the NES, brought the TMNT franchise into the hands of children worldwide and launched a turtle phenomenon that would span decades. I'm Buck Nasty at Party Flags Up, here to bring you the short history of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles for the NES. The Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle game for the NES was developed by Konami in the late 1980s. By the time, the TMNT comic book, created by Kevin Eastman and Peter Laird, had already been in print since 1984. The box art for the NES game came from Michael Dooney's cover art for the second printing of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles number 4, leading to a bit of confusion to fans of the show, as all of the turtles are depicted with red headbands and accessories. Negotiations for the licensing rights for TMNT began in 1986, 2 years after the debut of the comic books and a year before the cartoon, which debuted in December 1987. When Konami was given the license to make the game, their design documents from Mirage and Surge Licensing were based on the 1984 comics and a brief overview of the TMNT TV show. The game was ultimately published by Konami in Japan, Ultra Games, a subsidiary of Konami created to circumvent third-party game release limits in North America, and Palcom in Europe. The developers of TMNT were mystified by the concept, often being quoted as saying, "Why turtles? Why ninjas?" This side-scrolling action platformer was finally released on Japan on May 12, 1989, followed by North American release in June 1989, and the PAL region, covering Asia, Africa, Europe, South America, and Oceania, over a year later on August 17, 1990. Because of the success of the Heroes in a Half Shell, Konami had their hands full. As such, many developers at Konami were disappointed. TMNT bulldozed over every other project, and it forced developers to scrap potential games for the other famous Konami series, Castlevania. In Japan, the game was released for the Family Computer or Famicom system under the title Gekikame Ninja Den, which loosely translates to Legend of the Radical Ninja Turtles, Fierce Turtle Ninja Legend, or Legend of the Powerful Ninja Turtles, depending on the dialect. In Europe, it was branded Teenage Mutant Hero Turtles due to a law in the UK at the time that forbade selling products with ninja in the name to children. The game was believed to have been composed by Kozo Nakamura, but there are no official credits in the game, and Konami of America does not have documents with any specific staff mentioned. The game's soundtrack has also been credited to Miko Higashino and Jun Funahashi, who composed other NES games such as Contra Force, Skate or Die, and Castlevania 3. Due to copyright reasons, none of the music is based on the 1987 TMNT show tunes. Regardless, this soundtrack remains one of the most highly regarded NES soundtracks of all time. As in the mythos of early video game legends, the Turtles must rescue their female friend, April O'Neil, from the clutches of the evil Shredder. Once they rescue April O'Neil, the Turtles discover that their elderly sensei, Splinter, has been captured by Shredder as well, forcing the Turtles to rescue the rat and defeat the villain. Players get to play as Leonardo, Michelangelo, Raphael, and Donatello. Each turtle can be switched out at any time during gameplay. Aside from pizza that provides health to our reptile friends in various size slices that restore increasing health, weapons such as throwing stars and boomerangs can be collected to use by the turtles, apart from their usual weapons: Donatello's bow staff, Leonardo's katana, Michelangelo's nunchucks, and Raphael's sai. Donatello and Leonardo are useful for ranged attacks, whereas Michelangelo and Raphael provide close-range damage. Players also get to commandeer the Turtle-mobile during select stages. As players travel through the city, they can enter various buildings, sewers, and the Hudson River, battling diverse enemies and solving jump puzzles and time trials along the way. If a turtle succumbs to injury, drowns, or gets run over, he is considered captured by the enemy and is unavailable to be utilized. Beginning in Stage 3, players have the opportunity to rescue one turtle per level. Like many childhood stories about turtles, this one takes place in New York City. Your turtles battle their way through Fifth Avenue, the Hudson River, Wall Street, JFK International Airport, the South Bronx, and the Technodrome. In fact, the story of this game bases itself very loosely on the TMNT TV series episode Shredder and Splintered, which premiered December 18, 1987 and was the 5th episode in the series. The original NES version of the game sold extremely well across all markets on release. It sold about 4 million copies, which ranks it as one of the all-time best-selling NES games not made by Nintendo. The game received Nintendo Power's 1989 Game of the Year award, was featured on the cover of Volume 6 of Nintendo Power that same year, and received 2 additional Nintendo Power awards: Best Theme, Fun, and Best Game Overall. However, this game's success was quickly overshadowed by the 4-player TMNT arcade game released around the same time. Overall, this fun, albeit challenging game has stood the test of time, even if its reputation as the hardest NES game in existence precedes it. Even though the children's programming channel Nickelodeon has since acquired the rights to the franchise overall, with Activision holding licensing rights to the games, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle game for the NES will be a trip down memory lane for the older generations while still being relevant to appeal to a younger audience. Do you have any childhood memories playing this game? Let us know in the comments below, along with what you think of the video or any games you think we should take a look at the history of. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe as it helps our channel grow. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you next time in another Party Flags Up video.